We are in a time where peace has been lost, in a world and nation of hatred. The root word of hatred is hate, which means that a person has an intense or passionate dislike of something or someone. In today's society, hate has become the norm, and as a people, we have lost the values of humanity, hating things that we have no control over, such as cultural beliefs, damning those who don't believe the same thing that we do, religious views, killing one another for not worshiping the same creator, economic status, looking down upon those who don't have as much as those who have plenty, and the color of our skin. Yes, I said it. Race is still a main problem in today's confusion and turmoil. But it's not a civil rights thing. It's now become a human rights issue. It's time for people of all cultures, all beliefs, all economic statuses, and all races to come together and become one culture, one belief, one economic status, and one race. What I mean by that is it's time for us to put away all of our differences and become one in peace. To do that, we first have to start embracing each other's culture. Learn another culture. Find out their tradition, their way of living, and even find out what makes them mad. Because when you find out what ticks them off, then you can look at your life and see the things that you portray that you think is harmless, to them is hate. Secondly, learn another belief system. I say that because we are all individuals that have a mind of our own. And what law in life makes it mandatory for a person or people to believe in what our families or our ancestors believe, i.e. tradition? What makes it wrong to go against tradition? We are all individuals and have a right to think for ourselves. So who are we to tell that another person that it is wrong to go out and find the truth for themselves? That's what's wrong. Our families and our society forces us to believe what they believe. And when one go out to try and find the truth for themselves, they become the outcast. No, better yet, they become a rebel that then is shunned away. So I tell you to use self-development and go out and find yourself. Find it for yourself and not for your family or society. Thirdly, as a people, we tend to get caught up in the world, worrying about who or what somebody else have and how much money they make, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Then we look down upon those who have very little or nothing at all, like scum of the earth. Instead of trying to keep up with the Joneses, we as people need to start picking up our brothers and sisters, helping them with their life struggle, because believe it or not, we are all related somewhere down the line. How do we expect to get into heaven when your brother and sister is down on their luck and you sit back and do nothing? Or just walk right past them, which is just as disrespectful as spitting in their faces. We shouldn't say, oh, it's their fault that they're in the predicament they're in. Maybe it is. Or maybe it's just the way society is set up. Instead of trying to be the judge, we should help others in our family any means necessary. Even if it means giving up a pair of $200 Jordans when their feet are blistered up from treading the dangerous streets out there alone, and just simply going by and talking with them and buying them food and just giving them encouraging words. Lastly, this one I need not harp on too much, but I am, because to this day, the color of our skin put us in differences, where just because The different shade of a person's skin determines the level of acceptance or the level of rights in which they are given. Have all the work of our ancestors putting their lives on the line, striving for change, win a bell? Somewhere down the line, we all have seemed to lose the notion of human equality. Just like a child losing the lesson taught by a parent a few hours after being chastised. And as an African American man, I am not going to fully blame white people for our part in how we are viewed in America and around the world today. Were we taken from our homeland and brought to a land that was stolen? Yes. Were we forced to work sun up and sun down in every weather condition possible to help build this country? Yes. But that don't excuse the fact that we are stuck with the slave mentality to this very day, thinking that just because we are black, we are owed something. For example, 40 acres in the mule. I'm here to tell you we are owed nothing, because as a people, we shouldn't be looking for handouts, and we should be getting up and getting what we deserve. We need to stop feeding into the perception the rest of the nation and the rest of the world has about us. We as a people must stop all the killing of our integrity to ourselves. Put down the guns. Pick up a book. Stop all the he say, she say, and speak up for one another. Stop selling harmful substances to one another and open up legitimate businesses. Remember Black Wall Street? If you are tired of being oppressed as I am, it's time that we act accordingly. Now, as an American, we all have a member of our family that have served or is serving in the military. People that have fought and is fighting for our rights. Then why do we bash people when they want to use that right and demonstrate peaceful protest? Isn't this country predicated on being the land of the free and the home of the brave? If so, then why are we bashing those who stand up for a cause just because they are not going about it the way that we would? I applaud Colin Kaepernick because he is standing up for a cause in the public eye and not caring about the backlash he would receive from it. He's doing something a lot of people with the power that he has are not or too afraid to do. And on that, I commend you, Mr. Kaepernick. The time has come that we start respecting each other, supporting those who stand up to the opposition for change. And just like Mr. Kaepernick, I sit for those who sat at a Birmingham dining in the 60s. I kneel for those who shed their blood so that I could exercise my rights. I sit for Rosa Parks who sat on a Montgomery bus. I kneel for the men who put an end to the Nazis' madness. I sit for those who had dogs sicked on them and water hoses tearing the flesh from their bodies. I kneel for the Vietnam veterans, for they have been lost in the shuffle and forgotten about. I sit for Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Gandhi. I kneel for the men and women serving to protect me today. I sit for Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, and Alton Sterling. I kneel for all who protect and serve to keep me safe. I sit for change. I kneel for change.